Hello everyone, it's been a while. Let's get international greeting out the way. Hola, aloha, ciao, salut, ni hao, namaste, ohayo, yagamasma, zdravствуйте, привет, buna, dzień dobry, sziasztok. Hello. Xin chào, yebosio, tere, salam alaikum, sasyaka, marhaban, merhaba, habiri, and shalom, people of the world, wherever you are right now. Welcome to my channel. My name is Brunel, and thank you for joining me. Okay, so it's been a while, a very long time since I've actually just chatted, which I love to do, and done a little bit of makeup, and yeah, so I decided to do that today. And you saw the title, incorporate my thoughts about a makeup revolution, aka Revolution Beauty. Now, before we get started, let me just get this out of the way. This is not bash the brand. This is not I hate Makeup Revolution. I absolutely love the brand. Will I continue reviewing their products? Yes, I will. But there is an actual difference, and I just wanted to give my thoughts as well. This is something that I've actually felt for a good 6 or 7 months. I started getting this kind of feeling, so it's not a new feeling at all, but I'm deciding to voice my opinion because I've seen a couple of videos from individuals who've talked about this, and it's not to jump on a bandwagon. I said, well, I suppose it can be classed as that, but yeah, because I love the brand and I've reviewed a whole ton of their products. So you guys have seen that, and every single product, including the ones that I'm going to talk about today, I bought them myself with my own money. So I've made them quite a bit of money. So that's that. So I'm going to talk about the brand itself and how I feel about it. And we are also going to discuss these new products that they've actually got out. I've got 3 of the products here. I've got the get the title right, the loose setting powders, which is Conceal and Fix. I've got 2 shades here. I've got this one, which is deep dark, which is a plastic. It doesn't have to be glass, but it's a plastic, and it looks like this. Sorry if you get the reflection. It's got the mirror in there, and then it also has got the actual sieve in there as well, which they deeply set on the inside. So I've got that. I've got one like this, and I've also got a yellow one. So I've got a dark one, and I've also got a more yellow based one, which is a deep yellow. But to start off with, they had a couple of eyeshadow palettes. These are the Flawless eyeshadow palettes. There was a blue based one, I can't remember the name of it, and there was this one which is called Fire. Fire's got quite a few reds in there. So we are going to, this brand new, comes like this. It's got a nice big mirror on this side, and you've got these shades here which have got some reds in there, a couple of browns, a little bit of deep purple, and so on. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I've got this is a Morphe brush. It hasn't got a name, but it's a blending brush. So I'm going to start off with colors that I'm not necessarily used to. I'm going to go off with Red Hot, starting with that. And I'm just going to apply that in my crease line. And this is also a first impression for these products because I've not, lots of color. Yeah, so for me, Makeup Revolution, I mean, as I said, I love this brand and I don't want to bash it, and I just don't feel good about being, being horrible to companies or anybody else, because that's not the kind of person I am. This is not the kind of channel. By the way, base is P. Louise Eye Base in shade number 5. Just packing that into my crease line. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, so where's that? Yeah. So I love the brand, but I just feel for myself personally, not only as a consumer, but as a YouTuber as well, I tend to buy products not only because I like the products, but let's face it, nobody needs as many eyeshadow palettes as I do have. But I am quite aware that I am a YouTuber and I review the products, and I love the fact that they are very affordable. So that's one reason. I love the fact that they have got quite high quality. I mean, look at the red. Look how much it shows here. That they have got, high quality pigmented items. And I also love the fact that they are UK based, and I tend to support UK based companies, not just because they're based in the UK, but because as a YouTuber, when you're based in the UK, the majority of the makeup stuff is actually dominated by companies in America. So when the products are released, they tend to be released in America first, and then we get them later. And as a YouTuber, that really has an effect on our reviews and so on. So it gives us an advantage when you've got a company that's based in the UK and we get to have the items first, because it's quite unusual. So there are many layers and reasons as to why I love this company. But first and foremost is the affordability, the accessibility, that you can go into a Superdrug and get your items, you can shop online. And yeah, so for me, I love the company. And I'm very pleased for them that they've managed to expand and grow so well. And I'm really pleased for them that they've become international. And it's great, and there's growth. But for the last 6 months, or even probably a bit longer, I mean, you guys have noticed when I do like a Makeup Revolution review, I'll say, oh, they've got new products out, and I kind of make a little comment like, when do they ever stop, kind of thing, something similar to that. It's because for me, I feel now that there is something has been lost personally within the brand itself. They're literally just churning out a whole load of products all the time. Like, there's no break at all. We're talking, I mean, recently they've got these new 2 palettes, they've got the powders, they had the skincare face masks that were released, and prior to that they had the red version of the lipsticks, then they also had a neutral kind of version of stuff, and it's just, and some of them are massive releases. We're talking, 6 or 8 lipsticks and various ranges, so they're not even small. And for me, it's just non-stop. I can't keep up. I'm getting to the point where it's like they've got new products out, and I'm getting that kind of attitude, and that's not what I like for a brand that I absolutely love. And it just feels, it's because there's just too many. But look at the pigment in this. I mean, wow, look at this. Next shade is this one here called Infernal. So as I was saying, so they actually churn out the products, and as much as they churn out the products, I'm thinking, wow, they're so busy churning out so many products, the uniqueness of it, that's the right word, the uniqueness of the products, it's kind of lost. There were so many similarities in the eyeshadow palettes and in products, and frankly, some of the products that they came out with, like the bottles, the drinking bottles, don't get me wrong, I'm a kind of a healthy person, and I've got bottles like those, but I just thought, wow, what's that got to do with makeup? I mean, are you going into health, fitness as well? What's the correlation here? It just felt as if it's getting to a point where they just kind of saying, what's next? And you've got also collaborations. I mean, there's so many collaborations. It is ridiculous. And to be honest, some of the collaborations with the people they do it with, I don't think they necessarily support the brand. I could be wrong, and I'm not trying to throw any shade at anyone, but I just don't feel that some of those collaborations are with people who love the brand, and are more like for people who've got a huge following, and therefore they want to get the exposure to make the money. And don't get me wrong, as a business, you're about making money, but you shouldn't lose sort of perspective of what your ethos is, or what your brand is. And for me, that seems to have been lost as well. I see the collaborations, and some of the collaborations, I see the colors similarities, and I'm just like, no, pass. And more often than not, I'm now getting to a point where it's more of a pass than it is a, yeah, go for it. And that's a sad thing, because I love the brand, and I still love the brand, and I'm supporting the brand, and I still want to support the brand. But I just think that something is lost. They've lost their way a little bit. The expansion of Makeup Revolution into different parts of the world, I think is great. But I think you need to just chill out a little bit and slow down with the number of releases that you're releasing. Give people a chance to be able to try a product and enjoy them out, and maybe leave it to one release a month if you have to. But there are just so many. And then also, when you put that together with the collaborations, which are also so many are coming out, I just think another one, another collaboration, and who with who, and I just think that's something that's been lost. I mean, I rate the collaboration. I mean, come on, if I'm going to be showing anything, look, that's a Revolution product. That is Tammy there, Revolution. Kami's one over there in the corner. I've got about 20 odd Revolution palettes over there in the corner. So it's not about me not buying stuff from the brand, but as collaborations go, I mean, I actually rated the collaboration they did with Soph. I love the collaboration they did with Tammy and Kami. And yes, they are UK YouTubers, and I will tend to support them as well. But it's also actually there was something very clear about them. They represented the brand. You could see their products being used on their channels. You could see them reviewing those channels, those products, I should say. And when you then saw the collaborations, you actually recognize, I recognize that, yes, I can see this makes sense. These palettes also represent those YouTubers. There was a sense of that. But where you've getting colors where they just seen those before, there's a sense that it's not really a collaboration as such. It's more a case of come in, pick your colors, which one do you like? That one, oh yeah, that one, yeah, that one, and then put it together, and voila, we've got collaboration. That's what it feels like. I could be wrong. I wasn't involved in the process, and I admit that, but that's what it feels like to me. There's a sense of authenticity, yeah, that's been lost. And for me, I just think, as a brand, honestly, if somebody from Makeup Revolution sees this, I love your brand, I love your company, and I want the best for you. I just think you need to support other YouTubers or other social media influencers, and that could be, why not try something like an influencer kind of program where you troll around, social media. You find influencers or people who support your brand, who consistently use your products, who've paid their hard-earned cash for your products. And then once you've found these people, yes, not necessarily do collaboration, because I think as a business, you want a big following so you can make money. But then do a kind of think long term, help those people, individuals out. Give them exposure. You've got your own, I think you've got your own channel. I think Makeup Revolution got their own channel on YouTube. Take these people, get them to do their videos on your channel, to do a makeup look or a new item. Get all these different people involved in your channel, on your Instagram pages. Promote them, let them grow and bring products. Put them on your PR list. Send them the products ahead of release date, so they've got a bit of exposure as well, so their channels can grow. And as when they get to a certain level where you think they've got enough of a following, then you can do a kind of collaboration with them, and that way you've had an input, you've had an impact on them, you've been there to grow. They've built a relationship with you, they've built a connection with you, and you are sharing, and they get to know each other. And I think that's something that's makes more sense to me. I just kind of, I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. Final shade I'm going with is this one here, which is called Volcanic. I'm using exactly the same brush as I used before, Morphe M322 brush. And oh wow, again, picks up quite a bit of product, not too much fallout in this palette. It is lovely so far. I'm very happy with the quality of the eyeshadows, and I'm just going to keep that on the outer corner. Look at that, of the eye. And by the way, when I'm saying that, don't think I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, Brunel, you're thinking to yourself. I'm not, because that's not the kind of person I am. If I want you to do well, I want you to do well. But yeah, to do that, find the smaller ones, find the people who do that, who sing your praises, and help them out, help them grow and expose. And as a YouTuber, just give you perspective, being able to receive things like PR in advance, being able to put your video, and that means that you get exposed, and therefore that means that more people will come across your channel. It may grow. Being able to do things like, as I suggested, getting these people to go on your channel and and do a video on a makeup look and talk about that, and then link their channel to yours in the description bar, and and talk about them, and show their pictures or promote their videos on your Instagram channels and stuff like that. That on your Instagram page, that would help those individuals grow, and they will have more of a sense of loyalty to the brand itself, and be more likely to support the brand. And I think that's something that really seems to have been lost. And another thing as well, I'm so glad that on our own website here, the UK-based website, they've now given options for deliveries, including next day delivery. Again, for people like me, YouTuber, we need the items as quick as possible. We need something that's reliable, and I'm so glad that on a next day delivery, it's not so expensive either. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have been complaining about that on their pages, Instagram pages. I've mentioned that before, and I'm so glad they've done that, and that helps us, YouTubers and so on, to get a hold of the products. It was super quick. We're just going to quickly move on because it's going to be a long ass video here. So I'm just going to go with the next shade. I'm going to use a shimmer. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to go for something, I'm thinking gold, but I'm going to go with this one, Heat, here in the corner. And I'm going to apply that all over my lid. And then after that, I'm going to apply this gold here, which is called Phoenix, on the top and middle part of my eye. The shimmers could do with a little bit more of an impact. Took a little bit of effort to using my fingers to apply them, but they're not bad. So we're going to quickly whiz through the foundation. I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Foundation, Stay Naked Foundation in 71WY. And I'm gonna actually, do you know what? There's a brush, Makeup Revolution brush here that I wanted to use that I've never used before, which is directly in front of me. This is one of the brushes with an indentation in the middle. So yeah, it's brand new, never used it. So let's see what that's like. I tend to do 2 coats with this foundation. I absolutely love it. So we're gonna try it first with the brush and see if it makes a difference. Just going to steeple that into the skin. It's soft brush. I'm not necessarily a fan of applying foundations with a brush, but it allows the product to go a long way and it wastes less of the product rather than using the sponge. But I'm a fan of the sponge and I'm going to go over it with a sponge afterwards. But yeah, so it's just, those are generally my thoughts. I mean, I just sometimes at the moment Makeup Revolution reminds me of Tesco's. And if you've lived here in the UK, you'll have an understanding what I mean. When it comes to Tesco's, there isn't a corner somewhere that you don't go without seeing a Tesco stores, and it could be Tesco's Metro, it could be Tesco's, you know, the big Tesco's Extra. I mean, where I am, go what, 3 miles, you've got one Tesco's Extra, the big one. You go the opposite way, 2 miles, you've got another Tesco's Extra. A mile away, then you have got one of those Tesco's little stores, and then less than a mile away, half an hour, 5 minutes drive from here, there's another Tesco's on the high street as well. You know what I mean? They just got to a point where they're expanding so much, and just, you know, it was a case of, oh, mobile phones, yes, we can do that. Clothing, yes, we can do that. Food, absolutely wouldn't do that. Give us anything. I mean, at one point I'm thinking, well, cars, yeah, we'll have cars too. There was no stopping them at all. They just wanted to expand into every kind of business there was. They just kept growing and growing and growing, and sometimes it felt like greed got to them. And look what's happening to them now. They can't grow much more. They're having to cut down on just about everything. So I'm just worried for the business itself that it will get to a point where they're trying to expand on so many different things, including water bottles, that they'll lose their way, and then at some point it'll be just a little bit too much. You know, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Highlighting with the Too Faced Multi Sculpting Concealer in the shade Chestnut. Moving on to the powders. So I'm going to first of all go for this one here. And there's not really what I would class as a smell. It is very finely milled, very, very fine. I'm just going to try this one. And as I said, the color for this one is, oh, let's have a look. Deep yellow. And I'm just going to apply that underneath the eyes. I'm not going to take it into the inner bit of the eye. The reason for that is that that part does not get dry, and I don't want it to dry, because the more it dries, the more it increases your crease line, or crease lines and so on. So I will kind of place it around here, just at the height of the cheekbones, but I won't go in too close to the eye. I never do. And let's see, the feel of this, it feels very, very light. It isn't the softest that I've ever tried. Sort of sits on the surface of the skin. So far, it's not one of those that gets soaked into the skin and gets absorbed in there. I just come across one problem. You take that off. If you want to use this, let me see if I can separate. No. You've got a mirror on the inside, and if you want to use it, you're going to literally end up having to put it inside the mirror part, which for me, I don't like that idea. All right, so we've got the darker shade here, and I'm going to just use this and try and see if I can help to reverse highlight and see if that makes any difference, what the shade is like. Looks a bit kind of peachy kind of shade. Voila, this is my face all done. Just to let you know, on the lips, I've got the, oh, nearly dropped the stuff here. I've got the Too Faced Melted Matte lipstick in the color Drop Dead Red. And then in the middle bit, I've got a little bit of gold glitter that I've put in there, which is the NYX Lip Veil. And this is in the color Honey Pie. So I'll put that on there in the middle there, so there's a little bit of gold. So that's that. So underneath my eyes, I just use the same shade I'd used before, which was Infernal, which is a light purple on the corner. And then I use the darker purple, which is a Volcanic, at the bottom of my eye. The rest is just a, you know, eyeliner, which is a simple, and that's that. So what do I think about the palette itself? Is it worth it? The color shades themselves are actually quite nice. I love the matte shades. They are really pigmented. The shimmers need a bit of work, most of them do, but I reckon that the one in the corner here, which is called Wildfire, will be one of the best shimmers out there because it does look super, super soft, so you'll be able to use that. The others are a little bit, need a bit more effort, but the mattes are just absolutely beautifully pigmented, which is always what I go for, especially with me being dark skin. If the items are not, you know, the shades are not pigmented enough, they will look ashy or they won't show on my skin. So for me, it is a must. So yeah, so it is up to you, but I think the price was £10. So if you've got an option of either getting this, or if you've not purchased other eyeshadows before which are cheaper, which are the neutral Revolution neutrals kind of palettes, which are these types here, go through those. These are definitely worth it, and they're only £4 each. And yeah, so go for the ones where you haven't got too many similar colors, and they are fantastic. Fantastics. They are fantastic. They are worth getting. It is up to you. You could pass with this one, but it is a nice palette, especially the mattes. With regards to the powders, for me, it's a no. I just, there's something about these powders that sort of sit on the surface of the skin, and they kind of will dry. If you've got any kind of dry patches on your face, I think personally these will grab onto those dry patches like for dear life, that they are about to die, and they will not let go. Rigor mortis, it would be that will end up happening, that even after death they're still attached to your dry patches, honestly. And they kind of left a funny kind of look on the surface of my skin. It took a little bit more work than normal just to try and get rid of the powder that was sitting on my face, and that was literally 2 minutes of the powder being on my face whilst I was putting, I'm trying to not eat my hair, about 2 minutes of the powders being on my face whilst I was trying to do my eyeliner. And for that length of time, honestly, it stayed on air, and I had to fight for a good 3 or 4 minutes just to try and buff it away from my face, and it left this kind of finish on my face that made it really necessary for me to have to set my face with some moisturizing or some setting spray to moisturize and bring a bit more hydration to the skin. Otherwise it made my skin look really, really dry, and coming from an oily person, that's a lot. So it is up to you, but I would definitely pass on the powders, especially the other one where the shade is a little bit off. there's a bit of red in it that I don't kind of like. For me, it doesn't quite work, so I'll pass on that. As always, I'm giving you my own personal experience, my own personal opinion based on my experience. You do whatever you like, because it's always your money. You can spend it whichever way you like. And as my thoughts about the Revolution company itself, will I continue to support the brand? Yes, I absolutely will. Will I continue to buy their products? Yes, I absolutely will. But would I buy all of their products or most of the products as I used to? No, I won't, because for me personally, I see a lot of similarities with some of those products, and I don't necessarily want to go for it. So, or I can't. There's just too many as well. So you are still going to see the reviews with Makeup Revolution stuff, but they're going to be more sporadic. They're not going to be as consistent as they used to be, simply because I just think it's a little bit too much. But that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. Be mindful when you're typing stuff and you're putting your comments below. Please, 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 please don't just be horrible about it. And let me know what your thoughts are, and I appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, because it's a long ass video, oh my god, then yes, do like it and subscribe and comment. And why do I ask you to do all these things? Because because the more you do that, the more YouTube will recognize the video and suggest it to other people. The more you share, the more YouTube will actually allow my channel to to be suggested to other people on the videos as well. So that's why I ask you to do that. But I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you have taken this long, thank you for watching, and I will speak to you very, 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 very